मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends, and a very warm welcome to this special edition of Business Opportunity Over Chai. So this Business Opportunity Over Chai show is a special web series where we present new business opportunities available in the market. And this particular show has been hosted by Franchise India and the management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maurya, the chairperson of Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD of Franchise India. So picking up a business is a complete process because we need to have a lot of evaluation done. We also need to see the market trends, what the market trends talks about. So in today's webinar, we're going to touch the F&B brand, a great brand which is coming from a legacy of 7 years, offering FOCO model as a business model. So friends who do not know what is FOCO model is, franchisee owned company operated. Company operated model would mean that the brand himself will take all the pains to run that outlet, and what you get probably is some minimum guarantee, or the rentals, the salaries are all taken by the brand itself. A quick payback within 18 to 24 months, and targeting to open 50 outlets pan-India. So we have a great brand today specializing in Mediterranean and Middle East cuisine. The name of the brand would be Lub Lub. So I have two people with us. We have Mr. Nitin, who is the CEO and co-founder of Lub Lub, and Mr. Yogesh, who is also the co-founder of Lub Lub. And before I help you and probably invite you over here, friends who are watching us live also on Facebook, YouTube, and over here, please use the Q&A box which is down. Use this for posting any of your questions, and we'll be more than happy to pick that information for you. So before I hand over the stage to you, sir, let me play a small video of your particular brand. Allow me to do that, please. And then we can understand that how we are going to do our yes. Thank you, friends. That was a small and lovely video. Absolutely what Lub Lub is actually talking about. And with that, I would like to invite the co-founder and COO, Mr. Nitin and Mr. Yogesh, who is the co-founder. So, बहुत स्वागत है sir आपका on this live webinar of business opportunity over chai. And now, before we start the formal presentation and hear the earning potential and the business prospect, tell us something about yourself, sir. How did your journey started, and tell us something about yourself, please.
Namaskar, everyone. Thanks, Saras, for the nice introduction. And before I talk about myself, before I talk about our product, I would like to talk about Franchise India AV first. In fact, we have seen our AV many times. Obviously, we keep running, we keep playing that AV. And so that's that's not something which is very exciting for us today. When I saw the Franchise India AV, that was very inspiring. So that's so inspiring, and I feel it's our privilege to partner with franchise brand like Franchise India to envision and expand our brand. So that's so nice of Franchise India. And as far as my past is concerned, I'm with Lub Lub for over 1 year now, and Mr. Nitin is with me, who's running the brand for over 7 years. Prior to venturing into Lub Lub, I was part of insurance industry. I had a wide experience of participating in various activities involved in insurance industry. So I would not talk about much about insurance industry, but then I had been a part of sales and marketing team for insurance industry for over 19 years of stint. And coming back to Lub Lub, as you have already introduced us, hope the audience liked our video. And unfortunately, some of the participants would have attended a previous call with our founder, Mr. Kumar Gaurav, who unfortunately has fallen sick and he is not available with us today. But then we'll take it over and we'll go ahead with our presentation. Can you switch to presentation part so that we can? Nathan, would you like to introduce you first, and then we'll switch to presentation part?
Hi guys, very good afternoon, and it's a great presentation. Start by Yogesh and Saras talking about the brand and how we envision the things, and it's a great video you guys have, Saras, I must say. So I basically take care of the operations part of the business, overall recruitment, staffing, resource management, I would say day-to-day operations. So this is how it is. The journey has been great so far. Exciting with the COVID playing its Cupid role as well in it. So I think I would hand over to Yogesh now to take the discussions forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. While you do that, friends, I would also like to welcome Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MT of Franchise India Group, who especially wanted a lot of conviction to happen on this brand. And with that, I would like to invite Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. If you want to set the perspective, ma'am, how does the F&B industry looks like as we start?
Thank you, Saras. And at the start, I'd like to welcome Nitinji and Yogeshi on this webinar. And we also have an audience who's watching us live on YouTube. Friends, it's a great presentation. And while we've all got into a lot of discussions before we formally launched this webinar today, and to my mind, and whatever work both Nitinji and Yogeshi have done on the brand, I would say that's commendable. And they have, in fact, perfected their product, their business model before they ventured into bringing more partners in the business. So I do not want to take much time. I'll request, if we can run through a small presentation. And friends, my request to all of you would be, if you have any questions on the business model, your interest, your location, or perhaps a property that you own, which you think can be relevant to run and operate a business format like that, we are more than happy to take any questions. And I'll also request Saras, we put our email ID or hotline number in the chat box. Anyone who wants to reach out to us can do so in that on that email ID and contact. So over to you, Yogeshi.
So Nathan, will you be doing screen sharing, or Saras, you are having our presentation?
Well, as you say, even I can do it, so no worries.
Nathan, can you do the screen sharing part? Thank you, Miss Sonia. As Mr. Sonia introduced us, and in fact, we will talk about the brand. Okay, the presentation is there. So, Lub Lub. Thanks, everyone. We can see 24 participants as of now, and then the participant, I'm sure that since it is live, so Franchise India partners would be able to watch this later on as well. So Lub Lub, as the brand name says, it's very many people give us the feedback that the Lub Lub word only gives them some kind of charging, that obviously this is something which is very unique. So Lub Lub brings you the best of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisines. So these cuisines are very rich in taste, quality, and presentations. We started from Bani's Care 7 years back, and our Bani outlet it is named as Lub 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 Lebanese. So we ran this brand as Lub Lub Lebanese for about 3-4 years, and then recently we decided that we want to take it a global. We want to take a global approach, so we don't want to focus only on Lebanese. So we have rebranded this into Lub Lub Word of Sharma recently. Or apart from our Gurgaon outlet, all our new outlets are coming up as Lub Lub Word of Sharma. So why Lub Lub? Lub Lub, if we talk about Lub Lub and Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cuisines, so what we want to say is there's not even a single Middle Eastern and Mediterranean brand that has national appeal. So we see a huge opportunity to build a global brand, as there's no brand that has national or international footprints. We also have award-winning brand. We won 2 consecutive awards during 2017 and 18. That was a People Choice Award and Jury Choice Award provided by a reputed foodie group. That's Big F Awards in Gurgaon. Nitin, can you move to next slide? We are running the slide faster because it was supposed to be taken by our founder. Unfortunately, he has fallen sick and he is not available today. So we'll focus more on the question answer part, and we would like to have it more of an interactive session than a presentation. So if you want to know us better, what we say is we are not just an outlet based brand. We don't want our outlets to be dependent upon R&D. We don't want R&D part to be done at our outlet. So R&D kitchen is very important to keep the menu exceeding expectations and avoid getting monotonous. We keep on working on our menu, and every year we make significant changes in our menu across the outlets. We are at present, we are having 4 outlets, and we plan to expand to 30 outlets pan India by 2025, delivering an ARR of around 28 CR. Nathan, can you move to next slide? So we started our operations from Bani's Care in 2015. We doubled the operation in 2016 itself. Looking at this huge response, we participated in some award functions, and we got awarded in 2017-18. At present, we have 4 outlets. We started with 2 outlets in Gurgaon. First outlet was in Gurgaon, which started with the base kitchen. Looking at the response, we had to open another outlet in Gurgaon because the single outlet was not able to cater to an entire audience of Gurgaon. And then 3 months back, we launched our outlet in GK, Delhi. And 45 days back, we have opened up our first franchisee outlet in Mohali. And as far as we work on FOCO model, and if we talk about the investors, when the brand runs the FOCO model with years of experience of managing outlet, I mean, investors can be very sure, and they can, with very little experience in running these outlets, they don't have to worry. I mean, investor can take this step, and we will handle it till the investor or brand is comfortable handling the outlet. So, Nitin, can you take to the next slide, vision slide? Our vision is very simple, and if we talk about the lofty vision, we are a brand. Okay, that's not a vision slide. Okay. So our vision is to be most loved food brand in India, serving everyone, every day, everywhere. So it's not but there for any particular category of audience. So obviously there are a lot of food brands available in market, especially if we talk about North Indian food. So for Middle Eastern Mediterranean cuisine, there are very less options available. So we would that's our vision. Wherein we would like to offer this brand to everyone, everywhere. So that's our founder, Mr. Kumar Gaurav. We were supposed to take today's session, but unfortunately he has fallen sick, so we'll have to skip this slide. So key differentiator with Lub Lub and other food brands. So the key differentiator, if we talk about key differentiator, we serve freshly cooked food to ensure freshness, hygiene, quality, and avoid wastage. Our food takes about 8 to 10 minutes to prepare our meals, and we prefer to serve fast and hot meals. Also, the customer who are visiting us, they can see the food getting done in front of their eyes because we have open kitchens, like we have seen the Subway model. Nathan, can you move to data slide?
Just give me a second. Give me a second, guys.
Nitin, if you want, I can share it.
No, actually, just give me a second. Here we go.
Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. I was out of station, so I'm running on mobile network. So
Yeah.
I have requested Nitin to talk about some of the sites. So Nitin, if you can take over to data.
Yeah, sure. Hi, guys. So at the end of year 21-22, we had 2 outlets. Generally, our outlets are designed in such a manner that we don't do cannibalization, and the way they're structured is we are catering to more audience. So we have one delivery kitchen, which is basically a supplementary kitchen to cater the audience of Gurgaon. So technically, we have one dine-it away model and one delivery kitchen, which does around 1.67 CRs of business, and it is a constant business which we have been doing. So we have just opened up, as Yogesh told, we opened up a couple of more outlets, GK and this thing, and we will end up this year around 2.1 to 2.2 CR. But if we talk about the numbers, as and when we progress, because we are opening up another 5th outlet in Manesar right now, our expected projected revenue will be around 8.18, because we generally do 1 to 1.52 CRs from a single outlet. This is how we do that. This is the projected revenue is. And with the total number of 20 outlets, by 24-25, we'll be doing a projected revenue of 16.67 CRs. And by 25-26, I would say 27.47 CR. This is a very conservative number. And the real numbers which we have dealt with. And if you talk about the numbers, we just opened up in Mohali with a great and crazy response. We are green from the first month. The franchise is very, very happy. To be very honest, I was surprised, but the Mohali people were so welcoming and so loving with the brand that we have started to go green from the first month itself. The 3rd month has about to start, but the people are very happy over there. If you talk about the food, if you have seen the food presentation, this is the food, how it looks like, the food, the products. We have got we are also introducing a couple of more products into it. As Yogesh told us, for every 3 months we do an R&D and then we launch new products in the system. And the products which are not working go out of the system as well. The falafel, the most selling products, one of the most selling products you would say of the Middle Eastern cuisine is falafel. Shawarmas and falafel are the most selling products of the Middle Eastern cuisine as of now. The wonderful looking salads, the snack bucket, you can say, it's one of the stars. If you look at the left, it's one of the stars we sell. That's known as chicken rasa food, and it's a fantastic product. This, if you look at the platter, this is the most selling product of our sites. It's a deconstructed form of shawarma, and it's the most revenue generating product. We talk about the business. Yogesh, over to you to discuss over the team, and you can see who are the team members over here. Yogesh, can you take over?
So, yeah. So, thank you, Nitin. So, as far as the team is concerned, I have introduced myself. Nitin is the co-founder and CEO, which is from day one, he's handling the operations and he is helping the brand to grow, and whatever further franchises are being planned. So I'll be taking care of business development, and Nitin will take care of all the operations and back-end operations of those franchises. Mr. Kumar Gaurav, he takes care of real estate and architecture and brand development, and because he's an architect by profession, so he'll take care of outlet development part. Mr. Alok Nagpal, he's into events for over 20 years of experience. He'll help us with business development and marketing. Nitin, can you move further? This is the team, and obviously with Franchise India, these numbers are not required because all the queries and presentations would be routed through Franchise India. And I'm sure the audience liked our photograph, audience liked the video, and we would love the audience to come over and taste our food, because I'm sure we would have the temptations would be more now after seeing our product. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions with the audience, so can we open it to question answer session?
Very thankful to you, Geshi, for running this presentation. And friends, I'll request you all, if you have any questions on the business model altogether, we look forward to taking these one-to-one live on the channel. But before we do that, Yogesh, I'll also request if we can talk a little bit on the financial structuring in terms of what kind of model are we looking at. I saw in the presentation you also have a dine-in takeaway. So what exactly is the format that we want to offer to a franchisee, typical area which is required, capex which goes in, if that is something that can be briefed to everyone.
Yeah, I'll hand over that part to Nitin, and we are open before Nitin starts talking about this. We are open for a cloud kitchen model as well as dine-in setup. However, our preference would be dine-in setup only. We would not promote cloud kitchen because we want more footfall in our outlets. So that way, we would prefer dine-in setup. And the space required for cloud kitchen and dining setup is somewhere around 400 to 600 square feet. That depends if you want to open in which location, and if you want to open for a cloud kitchen or a dining setup. So it's between 400 to 600 square feet of area, and the investment part is around 25 lakhs. 25. It starts from, say, you can say 23 lakhs to 28 lakhs, depending on the area, the rental part, and the dining setup, what kind of interiors we are going for. Nitin, if you can talk about the equipment and the costing part, shall we take the audience to a spreadsheet wherein we have bifurcation of all these things?
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll be sharing that. Just give me a second. Hi guys, if you are looking at the screen, this is the ideal cost of opening up a dining takeaway model. And why we say dining takeaway model has become a preferential model again. If you look at the numbers and the stuff, pre-COVID dining takeaway model was even in anyhow was a success. It was known as a hybrid model. But with COVID coming in, a lot of delivery kits started to come up again. But if you look at the scenario currently, the world has opened up again. And what we are seeing is a cultural shift again happening, where people are going out more and eating out more. And the touch and feel of the restaurant has become a biggest parameter again, as opposed to delivery kitchen, which was, playing around for a couple of years in the people mind. Okay, let's go for a delivery kitchen. But I think we would suggest a dining takeaway model as the best model. And delivery kitchens are basically supplementary kitchens, which actually support a big kitchen like we have in Gurgaon. Our dining takeaway model does around 12 to 13 lakh rupees of business, and delivery kitchen supports with 7 to 8 lakh rupees of business. So this is how it is. And if you look at the numbers, fit out cost is around 9 lakh rupees for a 500 square foot model. There is a pre-opening, you have a licenses, you have got an initial PR presentation which is happening. And then we have a franchise fees of 5 lakh rupees. And then we talk about signage. Signage is basically the boards which we have. They cost around 1 lakh rupees. Then you got to talk about the kitchen equipments, like it's going to be costing you around 8 lakh rupees of kitchen equipments. The sheet and the equipment things can be shared separately as and when we progress further. When we talk about the opening stock means basically the packaging, which generally is done for 3 or 4 months of will be outsourced, and will provide it to you. Is going to be the opening stocks. Then other equipments are basically the POS system, CCTV, a fire extinguisher, and stuff like that. So this is the overall costing if you look at. So generally your setup cost is going to cost you around 26 lakhs odd rupees. We talk about 500 square foot model with the staff salary and stuff like that. Any questions, Sonia?
That's okay, Nitin. I'll take some questions on the business. In fact, the financials that you have. Maybe if you want to remove, you can do that. And friends, there's a detailed ROI working that has been done around the financials, which are being shared with you. So anybody who wants to have the presentation which has been presented along with the financial working, we are more than happy to share with all investors. Now, between you, Yogeshi, Nitinji, I have some questions which I like to take, and because we've talked about maybe a franchisee-owned company-operated model. So, friends, I like to set a perspective on that. And typically, companies who look at a franchisee-owned company-operated format, they want to control the last-mile experience they have to give to their consumers. And that perhaps is also the case with Lub Lub Lebanese, and hence the franchisee-owned company-operated model, where the entire investment is done by a franchise partner, and the entire operational, I would say, expertise is brought in by the company. And so, Yogesh, you want to elaborate on, how this structure would look like? What is the kind of involvement a franchise partner would have? What kind of visibility, especially when we run a franchisee-owned company-operated structure, a franchisee also looks at the visibility of the overall business financials. So maybe if you can elaborate further on that to give more clarity to our viewers, please.
Nitin, I'll pass this on to you for further clarification. The basic idea is, as you rightly said, we want to give a last mile experience to our customers. We don't want quality to suffer at any stage of the whole experience. So we would continue to run it on FOCO model. And Nitin, I'll hand over to you for further details.
So Sonia ji, basically what happens over in the FOCO model, as you've explained very well, the last mile experience. Basically, when we talk about last mile experiences, so the last mile experiences is for the consumer as well as the investor as well. Because if in our industry, the most critical part is human resource management. The staff, which are basically you have a staff salary ranging from 10 to 20,000 rupees. The staff keeps on jumping for 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. So you can't have your investor focusing on doing a recruitment part. The boy has run away, now what to do? So we take care of last mile experience for the investors as well. Plus, what happens over is we talk about the quality and the systems. If the guys are being managed by the brand itself, so the chances of quality going down is very, very less, as opposed to franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated models. The quality systems, the accountability of the employees as well. So overall experience for not only for the consumers in terms of quality, but also for the investor is good when it is franchisee-owned, company-operated. As far as investors, this thing is concerned, this is a pretty transparent business. So it's up to the investor whether they want to sit in the outlet for the whole time, whether they just want to have a weekly reporting, whether they want to have a daily reporting. We have all the structures available.
Nitin, if you would like to share your experience with Mohali outlet, because Mohali has been recently opened as one of the first franchisee. Mohali has been operating for over 2.5 months. What all things have gone through with Mohali, especially in terms of if we look at a company operated model.
Yeah. So Yogesh, thank you for bringing this up. I would say Mohali experience has been pretty fantastic. The franchisee owners over there are very, very happy with the results. And as I said, the last mile experience for them is also good. The guy, simply the human resource, I would tell the employee, sometimes runs away after taking a salary. This has happened in Mohali as well. So, but we were able to replace that particular employee overnight without putting any hindrance in the overall operations management. We have been hand-holding them at every single point of contact, every single point of vendors, how the pricing is going to be, how you're going to make money, how the marketing is going to be, how do you want to handle this part, every single point of things. We have a daily, at least 1 hour conversation with them on a daily basis, handling them and telling them how this day is going to be for you. Let's prepare this way. This is how the team is preparing. Because they want to be more involved in the business. That is why we are doing the hand holding. If an investor doesn't want to be involved in the business that much, just wants to invest and worry about the ROI part, we also do that as well. We have a team which is very capable of handling each and everything. We have our operations head, we have area managers, we have surprise auditors, mystery shoppers as well. which do that. It's not for their outlet, it's for our outlet as well. We do that. We have mystery shoppers for our outlet as well, because we are not available all the time everywhere. So our mystery shoppers goes over, brings the food and tells us what exactly is happening around over there. So which
So
helps
then
us.
that's helpful. If I can maybe clarify further also. So this information was helpful, in terms of how it would look like, but maybe going a little deeper on how the structure would look like when the operations are handled by you. What is the involvement that you seek from a partner is one of the questions which I have.
Okay,
Second,
fine.
typically when we talk about the franchisee and company operated model, companies run on different formats where franchisee either gets the revenue share, company takes care of operations, all the operating expenses. So on the operational side and on the financial understanding revenue share side, how would you want to explain that, if that can also be perhaps discussed?
Okay. So basically, as I told about the operations, how the operations are going to be handled. Now talk about the revenue side as well. As far as revenue is concerned, this franchisee-owned company operating model is basically divided into two parts. Majorly, the preferred model for everyone is where they are doing a setup, we are doing an operations, where we are ensuring that the profit is happening, and the profit and loss is on the investor's part, right? The second part is where the investor is basically investing a particular amount in the system, and after the initial gestational period is getting an ROI of around 6 to 7% from our side, irrespective of the performance of an outlet.
Okay, so friends, maybe we'll take more questions on that. So Nitinji, like you explained, one is where the franchisee, where you only come as an operator, while all the expenses are borne by a franchise partner,
Yeah, yeah.
right? The second model is where you take care of all maybe operating expenses, and there is a percentage which is shared with the franchise partner.
Yeah.
Which is 6%. Now the 6% is the overall revenue. How do we calculate that 6%?
We calculate that revenue as the net sales revenue, basically. So
On the net sales.
Yeah. So if we talk about somebody, if an outlet is doing a 10 lakh rupees business in a net sales, the investor gets a 70,000 rupees from our side.
Okay, and that is something which is a fixed percentage, right?
Yeah, fixed percentage. Yeah, fixed percentage.
And typical, when we also understand about the day-to-day visibility, is there a point of sales which is also maybe given, or I would say the franchise partner also has a visibility?
So we have
of what goes in?
we deal with LimeTray. LimeTray is taking care of our all point of sale contacts. It's in cloud-based software where the franchisee will be given an access where they can do the live tracking as and when they want. The one order is punched, they can check it. Okay, the order is there is an order which has come up. So they'll be given all the accesses which will they can check 24 hours, 365 days a year.
Sure. Friends, we go further now in understanding typically I think Nitinji talked about what an average outlet makes in terms of the revenue, and what you've seen based on the current locations which the company is running, while they have been able to operationally break even in 2 months time. When I talk about Mohali, which is a recent launch which the company had done. So when we talk about food industry at large and maybe a QSR format like this, typically, a larger part of your operating expense, is split into two broad heads, where almost 30-35% on an average goes towards your food cost. There's additional, I would say 15 to 20%, depending on the location that you are in, goes towards your occupancy cost, which is your rental. And then you have another 10%, which is a utility, expense, इसमें water, electricity आपका आता है. Then another 12 to 15% goes towards the manpower, the staff salary. And then you have another, I would say, depending on the format and the business, but 6% is on an average. Companies also charge a royalty. And all these expenses, I would say, put together, there's a bottom line. If I talk about the broad percentage, is almost about 15 to 20%. Before depreciation and taxes. Now here we're talking about an average sale of 10 odd lakhs. And Nitinji, based on the experience that we have, typically what kind of rentals would you suggest if we talk about say 500 square feet of space? Typical rental hamara kya hona chahiye? What are the other expenses? How much is our food cost?
In our perspective, typical rental should not be more than 1 lakh rupees for a 10 lakh rupee business. So this is what we
that too would be on higher side. Depending on city, we are considering Delhi, NCR, Gurgaon. So that could be up to the level of 1 lakh rupees. For other cities, it can be somewhere close to 80,000 also.
So I would say that the initial another outlet which we are opening up again is in franchise model in Sector 85, Gurgaon. So the initial cost around for that franchise model 400 square foot in a fantastic location. I think that's one of the best malls available over there in that particular location, Iris Broadway. So the rentals are around 80,000 rupees plus maintenance. So that is coming around to 1 lakh. This is what ideally the scenario should be. The rental should, in the current scenario where the business is divided between delivery and dine-in, we shouldn't have more than 10% of your real estate. So this is what we target generally. Until unless there's a fantastic, super fantastic location which is going to do the double the business. Again, it's going to be 10% at the end of the day.
Sure. Sachin, how about the other expenses? Typical, what is our food cost? And when, staying on the food, you also mentioned that currently in Delhi NCR, you have a base kitchen through which the entire supplies are being made.
Yeah.
So would that be true for other locations as well?
Yeah. So basically what we do what happens if we talk in the numbers of the Mohali, so we are supplying them with certain products, rest is being made over there as well. So like we are talking about the masalas, basically the ingredients for the burgers, patties, for the shawarmas. So we are providing all the masalas and the special imported grocery products which we procure from outside of India, as well as we get it made itself from the factories. So we provide that product. Rest is being made at the outlet itself.
Okay. Now, with all these expenses put together, what is the salary of the staff and what percentage of food cost would you attribute? Agar hamara 10 lakh ka sale hota hai, so
Yeah.
you said about 1 lakh is what goes towards your rental. What is that a percentage? Is that 30, 35 in your case?
I'll explain you. So what we do is we start with an average salary cost of 70,000 rupees. Where 5 people are employed. And eventually, once it reaches a mark of around 7 to 8 lakh rupees of business, then we start adding incremental costs is happening. So again, our idea is not to cross more than 10% of your salary. So the average cost is generally around 70,000 rupees to start an outlet.
Mm-hmm. And the other expenses, food cost, how much is that we...
Yeah, in terms of food cost, I would say the food cost, the landing cost for any investor or any franchise model is 30-31%, including the wastages. Plus, I would say 4 to 5%, 7 to 8%, which goes into packaging. Packaging has become a bigger game as opposed to what it was 3 years earlier. Now everybody is, focusing on having a great packaging, expensive packaging. So if you have a good packaging, consumers and customers are also very, attracted to look at the packaging. And some people are even ordering food just to have a great experience about the packaging as well. So 7 to 8% of packaging, I would say, 30-31% this is, and around 2 to 3%, I would say, is going to be your gas banking and other stuff. So generally, the food cost remains around 28 to 30% itself only.
That's within about 30-odd%.
Yeah, 30-odd%, yeah.
Right. So I'll take some questions. I see some questions which are coming also from the audience and maybe try to club some of them because I see inquiries which are also coming outside Delhi, understanding that you're operating even in Mohali. So which are the locations, Nitinji, that you want to perhaps expand? And I saw one of our, friends who joined from Bombay, and I have one of my partners from Bangalore. So which are the locations currently which become our priority cities for us to expand?
As of now, Sonia-ji, we are looking to expand pan-India. So we are open to any place provided how the local support is going to be from the investor's perspective. How is going to support us to open up the particular outlet? Because without local support, you can't go to other city or other state and open up an outlet on your own. So that's what we are looking at. Otherwise, we are open to every place, every city in India. We are also opening up. We're also opening up in Gwalior. We are also opening up in Jalandhar. We are also opening up in Jaipur as of now.
Sure. And all of these would be on a franchisee-owned company
These are all
operated
franchisee. These are all franchisee models.
So this is a franchisee-owned company operated or franchisee-owned?
This is all franchisee-owned company operated model with PNL on the investors part.
All right.
They don't want to fix ROI. They don't want to fix ROI because they want to. These are all seasoned restaurateurs, and they just want to bring out of the box cuisine to their particular cities and states and run it. So we will be providing them with all the services, all the recruitment services, all the operation stuff, and they'll be basically taking care of the being a host to the city, I would say.
Sure. So friends, just to maybe clarify, because I'm seeing a lot of questions around, where there's a minimum guarantee involved, who takes care of all the operating expenses. So there is only one model, which is franchisee owned, company operated, where the entire investment is done by the partner, while day-to-day operations, or I would say management, is done by the company. Now, as far as expenses are concerned, there are two models further that you can get in. One is you take care of the entire P&L from all the expenses to everything which is involved. And the other is where the company takes care of expenses and you only get a revenue share. So revenue share is whatever gross revenue the outlet would do, net of taxes, you get a percentage of that. Now, how do we calculate that? Based on what the current locations are doing. So it's average of, I would say, 8 to 12 odd lakhs, which we saw that the current locations are doing. So if we take an average of 10 lakhs, and 6% of that is something which franchise partner gets as a percentage. Now, there is no fixed minimum guarantee. So whatever variable, revenue the outlet would do, your percentage of payout would be based on that. So these are the two formats. And on an average, if we talk about a format where the company takes care of expenses and there's a minimum guarantee in terms of revenue share, which goes to you, your average, ROI would come in a span of about 2.5 odd years. And if we talk about the other format, that comparatively, should be sooner. So one thing, friends, which I want to also, talk about here. So any, business can become sustainable if it is, profitable. And in a franchisee-owned company operated format, there is also investment which the company does, which is maybe their, corporate cost. All that is, put in running and operating the complete outlet operations. And whatever business the outlet does, that gets split between the operator and the investor. So in this case, the operator is the company and investor is the franchise partner. So the franchise partner would get return on the investment they have made, and the company takes return on the time, that they put in the business. And as far as other expenses are concerned, including your marketing expenses and everything else would be taken care depending on the format that you choose. Now, I have a question, Nitinji, which is by Mr. KJ Gupta. He is talking about, we have, platforms like Swiggy and Zomato. So these are also, a big commission structure which goes into, using these platforms. So have we taken into account how would that be structured, and how much of business today is online, how much of that is offline?
So
I would say
I just preempted this question is about to come, so I just shared a screen. If you look at Sonaji, which talks about everything. So on an average, if you look at, and any outlet does an average billing of 60 odd bills in a day with an average bill value which is 550 for us. Our current scenario looks like this. Our dine-in is 40%, our online, which is aggregator cost, is 40%, and our self-delivery model is also 20%. So if you look at this gross profit comes around to 70% for us. In terms of, if you talk about the food cost has been minus from it. Packaging is 7%, 2% is our wastage. I already talked about the employee cost, which is 70,000 rupees to you to start with an incremental as and when the business progresses further. The staff welfare, basically, when you give them some, party or something like this, this is also taken into consideration. We have taken rentals as an 80,000 rupees. This doesn't include the maintenance part. But generally, this is what an average cost of a good, decent, even in the right now T1 city, the Gurgaon, if you talk about 400 to 500 square foot outlet, at a decent place, just generally costs around this much only. It can change and it can go as per Mumbai. It's going to be definitely different. It's going to be different in maybe Jalandhar, but this is an average cost what we look at around. The royalty we have taken as of now is 8%. The marketing cost again is 8% taken into consideration. Delivery commissions are 21%. Because we have a special case with the Zomato and Swiggy, we have been connected with them for the last 7 years. And even so, the world has come around of the Zomato Swiggy around this time period only. So we have a special commission cases. It's not in regular your 28% commission which Zomato and Swiggy charges. We have that systems developed with them. They are charging around 21% to us overall. That includes your GSTs as well, right? So that's an added advantage you have when you take Lub Lub on board yourself. right? So self-deliveries costing comes around to 8% of the stuff. This is an electricity. If you talk about, that's 35,000 rupees. Gas is 2% of overall business basically. Gas doesn't play much role because we have got more of electrical equipments as opposed to having more of gas equipments. Telephone expenses are pretty marginal, and we have just taken another 2% of miscellaneous where you have got the team is buying registers. They have to sometimes go outside and buy some retail products as well for the day-to-day operation sometimes. So we've taken everything into consideration. So then if you look at the numbers, the EBITDA comes around for the first year is 11.97%, followed by 13.58%, then 15, then 16.4, and then eventually 17.65% of EBITDA. The payback time, if you look at, is around 21.5 months. I would say we say 22 to 24 months because we say ki let's be a little more conservative, and so the investor doesn't feel ki acha yaar aapne to itna bola tha, itna to nahi aaya. So we take another 2-3 months into consideration so that people are happy. If they get it by 18 months, they're happy. If they get it by 24 months, they're happy. These are the all other COGS ratio analysis which you look at, the trade cost, HR, utilities, delivery expenses, which can be shared and discussed in detail if somebody becomes interested prima facie to take franchisee or want to come on board on that. These are the numbers. Anything else, Sonia ji, you want from our side?
I think this is helpful, Jean, and I don't know. I think comparatively, all these percentages look great, but I feel on terms of marketing, we have taken slightly a very high percentage. Typically, what it comes out to be an average of 1.52%, 2.5. Typically, in our case, I'm seeing we have taken 8% on the marketing.
Yeah, with the Zomato and Swiggy, see what happens right now with Zomato, Swiggy, and discounts coming into picture. It generally goes around that much only.
Okay,
that's
so we
will
included that as well on the marketing.
Yeah,
so yes. But we've also put commissions separately.
Commissions are separate. Commissions are separate. If you look at the commissions are here, 21%.
Yeah.
So we've taken everything into consideration. This is a real-time data made on our real-time access and real-time systems. So this talks about the real numbers over here.
Definitely.
Nitin, I believe Ms. Sonia is asking about the Zomato Swiggy cost, which we earlier also talked. We talked about 21% of Zomato Swiggy cost. So that cost is also included. Local marketing maybe cost included. That is something which I guess she wants to clarify.
Commissions are never the part of the marketing. They are more of a part of a customer acquisition cost.
So we'll have to tell her in the two ways there. The Zomato Swiggy, one is percentage pass, another is there in I mean their keyword, their internal keyword, their internal promotion, their internal advertisements. I guess that advertisement part is part of local marketing, and the overall commission is part. That's a separate matter. That's a 21% commission.
Absolutely. Now, this local marketing also includes any other activity which a franchise partner would do in his neighborhood, apart from advertising on these platforms, right?
Yeah.
Now, is this a common budget? Because marketing, I see 8%, and all that marketing, I'm sure, that is something which might be optimized at the company level. So is this a percentage which goes to the company, or this is something which he would perhaps, kind of do at his end?
Basically, when we talk, there are certain activities which company is going to be taking care of at the national level and maybe at the outlet level as well. But overall, general marketing costs like an ads and SEOs and stuff for that particular outlet is going to be borne by the franchise itself.
All right, helpful, friends. So I hope we have been able to address, the questions. I'll request anyone who has any further questions to reach out to us offline. We have already shared our contact and coordinates to reach out to us, and our teams at Franchise India based out of Delhi office are working on the project and will facilitate any kind of meetings. If you want to visit any of the locations in Delhi, NCR, Mohali, please let us know. We will also facilitate maybe a tour. And before we close, I'll request Yogeshi, Nitinji, there's a message that you want to give to all our viewers. And post that, I'd like to pass on to Saras for his concluding remarks. Over to you, Nitinji.
Thanks, Sonia ji. I would like to answer the Hitesh ji answer. What is the significance of this name? So Hitesh ji, the significance of this name is Lub Lub means love. It's also in Greek word which says it's love, and it's also in Punjabi says Lub Lub is like bahut sara pyar. So Lub Lub means love. And I think that would be the concluding part from my side as well. We do this brand with a lot of love and passion. We don't consider franchises as in franchises. We consider them as our building partners. They are our partners in everything, in our growth, in their growth. They are just part of our family. And that is why as soon as we started to think about franchising it, we have received tremendous response from people as well. In last span of 6 months, we have been able to capture more than 4 or 5 franchisees just because of sheer love and passion we have for the brand and for them as well. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. And friends, this is all visible. Not only they have their own centers, which they started as their equity stores, but in a short span of, I would say, the last 6-7 months, they also have a lot of franchise partners which have started to come in various cities beyond NCR. So I wish the entire team of Lub Lub and Yogeshi, Nitinji, I would like to even congratulate you for the work and the brand that you have built. And friends, we look forward to receiving any questions that you have offline and getting you on one-to-one discussion, meeting, tour on the opportunity for detailed understanding. Saras, over to you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much, Sonia ma'am, and thank you, Yogeshi, and thank you, Nitinji, for a wonderful opportunity. So friends, I have to keep on posting my numbers on the chat box, and you can see the number here also. I just repeat it for you. It's 97176 83838. I repeat, 97176 83838 is a hotline number. Our Do Your Own Business specialists are very eager to hear from you. You can even write back to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. And of course, we'll be getting back to you and picking up the right business opportunity. With that, I really want to thank you all, and especially the people who stayed at the end. That means they are real serious people to do something on a new part. And as we have picked up the theme, Naya Saal, Naya Business, that's what you should follow. Thank you, everyone. Have the best
Thank you,
day of your
Saras.
life.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.